The Gulf and the Kingdom, Arab money, and the buying of Britain. London, walk its streets, and you walk through a portfolio, the tallest tower, the most famous department store, the busiest airport, the home of the Premier League champions. Behind each of them, Arab capital. Over the past 5 decades, the oil wealth of the Gulf has flowed into the United Kingdom on a scale so vast that some now call London the 8th Emirate. This is the story of who owns what, how it happened, and what it means for Britain. Part 1. The players. 5 great sovereign wealth funds dominate the game. The Oil Five. Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, nearly $1 trillion, chasing $2 trillion by 2030. The Qatar Investment Authority, close to $500 billion. And the Emirates Trio, the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, approaching $1 trillion. Mubadala and ADQ. Add the Kuwait Investment Authority, the world's oldest sovereign fund, founded in 1953, with its international office headquartered not in Kuwait City, but in London. Together, they command over $3 trillion, and Britain is one of their favorite shops. Part 2. Qatar, the London landlord. No Gulf state has bought deeper into Britain than Qatar. Harrods, the temple of luxury retail, acquired in 2010 for a reported £1.5 billion. The Shard, Western Europe's tallest tower, bankrolled and majority-owned by Qatari money. Canary Wharf, the financial district itself, controlled through the Qatar Investment Authority. The Olympic Village, Chelsea Barracks. The Ritz, bought by the Emir's brother-in-law for around £700 million. And beyond the skyline, around 22% of Sainsbury's supermarkets, a major stake in Barclays Bank Capital that helped it survive 2008 without a state bailout. 20% of Heathrow Airport, a stake in the London Stock Exchange itself. The Qatar Investment Authority is reckoned to be London's 5th largest landowner, ahead, by some counts, of the King. And in 2025, Doha pledged billions more into British tech, life sciences, and clean energy. Part 3. The Emirates, from Manchester to the fiber beneath your feet. In 2008, Sheikh Mansour of Abu Dhabi bought a struggling football club called Manchester City. 2 decades, hundreds of millions in investment, and multiple Premier League titles later, it anchors a global football empire. Emirati capital reaches far beyond sport. Mubadala signed a sovereign investment partnership with Britain, committing £10 billion into technology, infrastructure, energy transition, and life sciences. It backs City Fibre, laying the broadband arteries of digital Britain. DP World of Dubai runs the London Gateway Port and helped build the Thames Freeport. Emirati investors hold London real estate worth well over £10 billion. Part 4. Saudi Arabia, the new heavyweight. The kingdom arrived later, but louder. October 2021. The Public Investment Fund buys Newcastle United for £350 million. By 2026, after nearly £1 billion of investment, the club is valued at some $2 billion, with a new training complex funded and plans for a new stadium by 2030. The PIF also bought 10% of Heathrow, meaning Saudi and Qatari funds together hold roughly a third of Britain's biggest airport. Saudi capital sits in luxury hotels, in the Savoy, in property across the capital, and in London-listed companies. And Riyadh has signed multi-billion-pound partnerships with Britain in defense, clean energy, and finance. And the quiet veterans, Kuwait and Bahrain. The Kuwait Investment Office has operated from London since 1953, older than the Bank of England's independence. Its holdings have included stakes in BP, HSBC, and Vodafone, plus ports, infrastructure, and property worth tens of billions. Bahrain's royal family and funds hold billions more, from country estates to city investments. Gulf capital in Britain is not one deal. It is an ecosystem 60 years deep. Part 5. The Reckoning. Why does Britain welcome it? Because it needs the money. Gulf funds finance infrastructure the treasury cannot, create jobs, and anchor London's status as a global financial capital. But the questions grow louder. Critics ask about influence, whether states with contested human rights records should own critical infrastructure, airports, ports, water, broadband, and the stadiums of national passion. Sports washing, some call it. Others warn of dependence. Promises to Washington of trillions in investment mean Britain now queues for Gulf capital in a more crowded market. And when conflict flares in the region, the money's mood changes overnight. The bottom line: Arab investment in the United Kingdom now touches almost every part of British life: the skyline, the checkout, the departure gate, the football terrace, the fiber in the ground. Qatar alone holds tens of billions. The Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Bahrain tens of billions more. It is, by most measures, a partnership both sides profit from. But ownership is power, quiet, patient, and permanent. Britain sold the family silver willingly and was paid handsomely. The open question for the next generation is simple. In the house their grandparents built, who, now, holds the keys?